Hi guys, this is MMA here bringing you another fight prediction. This one, UFC 158, main event, huge fight. Georges St-Pierre versus Nick Diaz. Let's get it going. Amazing fight, so psyched for this one, cannot wait for it. GSP Nick Diaz. Now, I've got a little bit of a bone to pick with GSP and the UFC in general. How the hell is Johnny Hendricks not getting this fight? There's no way Johnny Hendricks doesn't get this fight. It's crazy. All of George's reasons are just rubbish. He's saying things like, Nick Diaz has been around a long time, he deserves it. Yes, and he got his chance at the interim title, and he lost to Carlos Condit. So now he doesn't deserve it. He did deserve it back then. He messed up by being caught smoking weed. Stupid rule, I know. He should be fine, but he got caught on that. He missed out. GSP, on the other hand, also said, I think Johnny Hendricks lost to Josh Koscheck. Bear in mind, he didn't. He actually won that fight. And then Georges St-Pierre goes on to say, therefore, I don't want to fight him because I don't want to fight someone who's lost to someone I've already beaten. Okay, fair enough. Number one, GSP, look, he didn't lose. He did beat Josh Koscheck. Number two, the guy you're fighting, Nick Diaz, not only lost to Carlos Condit, that you already beaten, but that was the last fight for everybody. So Carlos Condit, last before you, he beat Nick Diaz. And before that, there's Nick Diaz's last fight. How does someone lose and then get a title shot? I'll tell you how. I love GSP, but I have to see what I say. I have to say what I see. And he's afraid of Johnny Hendricks. That is the truth of it. There's no other way. The guy has just knocked out Martin Kampmann with one punch. He's just knocked out John Fitch with one punch. He beat Josh Koscheck. It wasn't close. I mean, it was close, but it was the right decision. Nick Diaz, on the other hand, has just lost to Carlos Condit. The last guy beat was BJ Penn, who is massively undersized at welterweight. Yes, he's a top fighter, no doubt about it, but he's nowhere near the level of Johnny Hendricks. And one of the reasons is they say styles make fights. Now, we all saw what GSP did against Carlos Condit. Basically, took him down and beat him up, which he's going to do against a guy like Carlos Condit. Unfortunately, Nick Diaz is very similar to that. Nick Diaz's weakest part of MMA is his wrestling. He's got great boxing skills. He's got good jiu-jitsu. He's not going to be able to submit GSP. I'll be very amazed. He's not going to be able to box with him because he's not got good wrestling. GSP is just going to take him down and beat him up for 5 rounds. Unlikely to get the finish because Nick Diaz is one tough SOB. But GSP is going to take him down and beat him up for 5 rounds. That is my fight prediction, and I'm pretty secure on that. Maybe he might get a knockout with a few good punches. I'd be very surprised. After that, he will fight Johnny Hendricks, who hopefully beats Jake Ellenberger. He deserves to beat Jake Ellenberger, and he deserves to get the title shot. After that, 100%. He deserves it already. I mean, it's ridiculous he hasn't got it, but he deserves it after this 100%. And that would be a much tougher fight. And I'll tell you why. Johnny Hendricks is no doubt about it, the better striker. I mean, he's knocked Martin Kampmann out and John Fitch, two of the top guys, with one punch. And not only has he knocked them out with one punch, he sent them skidding across the cage, which is just crazy. Number two, he's a really good wrestler. GSP, who doesn't have a wrestling background, is less likely. He may still be able to take him down. GSP is an amazing wrestler now, but he might not be able to do it. He might not be able to take him down, in which case he's got to stand and bang with Johnny Hendricks, and that is the world of Hendricks, and I think Hendricks wins if he can't take him down. Nick Diaz, on the other hand, will not be able to stop the takedown. We will see it almost immediately. GSP might trade, a few punches, punch, take you down, beat you up for 5 rounds. There's no one better in the world at taking you down and beating you up for 5 rounds than Georges St-Pierre. So that is my fight prediction. I can't see it going any other way. But huge fight. So pumped for this. I love the card. I love it how they're doing sort of like a welterweight tournament. I think this is such a stacked division. I can't wait to get it. Just one more note on Johnny Hendricks for you guys. He's just beaten his last 3 fights. Bear in mind, 2 of them were spectacular knockouts against Martin Kampmann, Josh Koscheck, John Fitch. Those are his last 3 fights. Now, can you imagine if, say, for example, who can we use as an example? Let's try the heavyweight division. Can you imagine if a guy beat Junior Dos Santos, Alistair Overeem, and Bigfoot Silva? Or maybe that's not fair because Junior Dos Santos is a previous champion. None of those guys had championships, but they're previous contenders. So let's say Alistair Overeem, Bigfoot Silva, and Daniel Cormier. and then he didn't get the title shot. I mean, it'd be absolutely ridiculous. You fight one of those guys and you get the title shot. Simple as that. I cannot believe that he's beaten 3 of the top guys in that division and he still hasn't got the title shot. That's just my opinion, though. We'll have to wait and see. I think the UFC should have put their foot down and said, no GSP, I don't care if you're scared. And I'm not saying GSP is scared in terms of I'm scared of the man. I'm thinking he's thinking Nick Diaz is the easier fight, which is fair enough. That's exactly what I'd do. I'd want to go for the easiest fight. And he's got a lot to lose. UFC champion, welterweight champion, has been for a long time. Super fight possibly coming up. He needs to stay the UFC champ to be able to get that super fight. But yeah, can't wait to see this fight. Really psyched for it. This has been MMA, bringing another fight prediction. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.